Ryan, let's get into it. This weekend, legendary Tigers second baseman Sweet Lou Whitaker is being honored with a pregame number retirement ceremony. That will be this Saturday, August 6th, when the Tigers host the Tampa Bay Rays at Comerica Park. Sweet Lou played 19 seasons for the Tigers. He won Rookie of the Year in 1978. He's a World Series champion in 1984, and he's going to have his number one retired as he becomes the 8th player and 10th Tiger overall to have his number immortalized at Comerica Park. The celebration kicks off this Friday, August 5th, with a special question and answer session at Comerica Bank Big Cat Court at 5:45 p.m. You can enjoy a one-on-one conversation with Lou that is hosted by Bally Sports, Detroit's Mickey York. And on Saturday, the game is not until, the ceremony is not until 5:15. The gates open at 4:30, but if you have the time, and I suggest you make the time, from 11 a.m. until 1 p.m., Whitaker will sign autographs for fans that purchase advance tickets for the event or on-site at the D Shop at Comerica Park. You can check out tigers.com/authentics, where you can secure tickets there for the autograph session, or like I said, on-site at the D Shop at Comerica Park. What you laughing about?
That's a hell of a promo.
We do what we can here. So I know this was before your time, Ryan, but Lou Whitaker and Alan Trammell, arguably the greatest double play combo in baseball history. Their number of games played together, over 1,900, played from 1977 to 1995. They literally came up together. And Lou Whitaker had to move positions for this whole situation. He was a third baseman coming out of college, and they moved him to second base, learned how to play second base, so that he and Trammell could be one of these all-time legendary duos. And most Tigers fans are, not happy that Lou Whitaker is not in the Hall of Fame, because he is one of the greatest second basemen of all time, and also mad that he wasn't honored at the same time as Alan Trammell, because they were so known together. Like I said, 1,918 games together as teammates, almost 20 years, and they were synonymous. You said one, the other came with it. No matter which one you said, everyone thought of the other one along with it. So the fact that Whitaker's number is later than Alan Trammell's, Tigers fans, feel this wasn't done correctly and that these guys should have gone in together.
And I get that, and I think it's a case, especially for Tigers fans. Detroit fans in general, I think probably all fans suffer from this, is like you overvalue your own self. Like Lou Whitaker getting his number retired with the Tigers, it's fine. It's good for him. It's not something that I get too upset about, but I think we're quick just in the city. Maybe I don't know about the Red Wings, I guess, because I don't know so much about them. But the Pistons, the Tigers, the Lions seem like they're just quick to retire people's jerseys who were good players. Some great players, some like not exactly quite great, but on that borderline of good. And I just don't know that it's necessarily warranted. Like 20 years with the team, or 19 like you said, that certainly gives it a giant boost. He was part of the team that won our last World Series. And I get all of that. My standard, I guess, would just be a little bit higher. Like, for me, if I'm going to retire your jersey, you have to be like an MVP caliber player. That doesn't mean you have to win the MVP, but you have to be like Isaiah Thomas was. You have to be like Miguel Cabrera, Ty Cobb, Barry Sanders. Like, those are the guys who are getting their number retired. And while the role players on those teams, the championship-winning teams, are super important, and Whitaker was more than a role player, certainly. But, I mean, we're about to see all 5 of the 04 Pistons have their numbers retired, and that really probably shouldn't be the case. But it is, and I think Detroit is a unique city in that we don't get so many MVP-level players here, and it seems like, at least with the basketball team, when we've won, it's been with a better collection of talent as opposed to having the Magic, the Jordan, like the Larry Bird of that era. And then, again, even with the Tigers, baseball is kind of always more of a team thing, but you don't have that superstar like Derek Jeter, even if Jeter wasn't even if he's a little overrated himself, you know what I mean? But you just have that face of the game on your team. And that's kind of what I think about it. So I wouldn't be upset if they didn't retire Lou Whitaker's number. I'm not going to be upset that they're going to. I understand why fans would want it, but I would say my last thing on it would be, it's just kind of a shame that it comes in such like a bad season, because then you always think, is this a little bit of bad faith by the Tigers? You could have retired his number really at any point. You could have waited until you guys were a little bit better, and now it just seems like it's sort of a money grab because this is a soft spot for fans.
Right, and then that's part of the timing of this. Again, is one of the things that's been discussed, and they kind of messed this up by doing Trammell's a couple of years ago and not doing Luz at the same time. Again, when Trammell's was retired, the Tigers weren't good then either, so they could have done these both together in 2014 when the Tigers had a really good team and there was a lot of excitement and everyone was coming to the ballpark to watch the Tigers, as opposed to now when they're one of the, again, worst teams in baseball, and so the fanfare is not as much. But it's also obviously it's an extra ploy in a sense to get more people to the ballpark for a game, bring some more money in a season where they really aren't bringing as much in anyway because the team's not as good. I agree with what you said about Detroit. We've kind of had bad luck when it comes to getting these MVP level caliber players, but Lou Whitaker did have the distinction of being the youngest rookie of the year of all time until Mike Trout ended up being about 2 months younger than he was when he won it. He is a 3-time Gold Glover. He is a 4-time Silver Slugger, and he's a 5-time All-Star. So he had a good career, and on many people's lists of second basemen, he is up there. And in fact, he's one of only 6 players with over 2,200 games played at second base. The other 5 are all in the Hall of Fame. Roberto Alomar, Eddie Collins, Nellie Fox, Charlie Gehringer, one of our own, and Joe Morgan. So all of them being in, it's, again, added to the why isn't Lou Whitaker in when all these other names that he is right there with have been in for a long time. But maybe, hopefully, he'll eventually get in. He's joining a great list of names as far as having his number retired by Detroit. The aforementioned Charlie Gehringer, Hank Greenberg, Willie Horton, Al Kaline, Hal Newhouser, Alan Trammell, and Jack Morris. And both of Trammell and Morris were obviously his teammates, as we keep talking about Alan Trammell and him being the duo that they were. So again, get on down to Comerica Park this weekend. Friday, there's a Q&A. Saturday, if you're there from between 11 and 1, Lou's going to be there signing autographs. The D shop at Comerica Park, you can get them there on site, or go to tigers.com/authentics. And on the actual game day itself, the gates open at 4:30, and the first 10,000 fans are going to receive a Lou Whitaker replica road jersey. So if you get there early, you're going to snag yourself one of these. The retirement ceremony is at 5:15.
Hey, Ryan Griffin here. Thank you so much for watching today's episode of Griffin and Bats. Be sure to give us your thoughts in the comments below. Remember to click the bell to receive the latest notifications from DSN, and subscribe for breaking news, community blogs, polls, contests, and other content.